Back on MorningLine, Sharon Hurt's with us, Councilwoman at Large. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
And we're talking this morning about Jefferson Street, I-40, the cap thinking idea of possibly spending millions in federal dollars to get a cap over I-40 to connect the community again that was split by the interstate years ago. But Councilwoman, may not be the only option. Now, just so we know, the money that's coming from the federal government, some $120 million, has not necessarily been earmarked saying you got to use it for a cap. That may be something that came from the mayor or the administration or a suggestion there that's out there. And it's not necessarily a bad suggestion, but you say that money could be used for a list of other things.
It could be used for other things. So the Biden administration's purpose was to try to create jobs and fund major projects. And they wanted to make sure that it helped those communities that needed it the most.
Sure.
So reconnecting communities was a part of it, but it wasn't the only thing. They want to support sustainable environments, flooding, bridges, road safety, environmental cleanup, electric buses, high-speed internet, droughts. All of those things are there for money to be used for this infrastructure money. Reconnecting communities is just one of those possibilities. So my thing is why not spend the money? We don't have to necessarily have the cap, but we could use it to help clean up the water. We could help build some homes. We can help get our MTA going as much. And I know transportation is a big thing. We can get our environmental straight. We can clean up. I think Nashville needs to clean up a huge cleanup project. All of the bridges need pressure washing. So we use some for pressure washing.
And waste and trash and everything else.
All of that, solid waste, trash. Get the potholes out of the roads. Just do a major thing. So when people come here, they are like, oh my God, Nashville is such a clean city. And love it and want to be here. Get lighting over the places where it's clean and it's aesthetically pleasing and it's bright and light, so people will feel safe and that things are going to be better for them.
All right, so as we wrap things up here, there's folks watching and they hear what you're saying, and certainly the people that live in the area that this money is going to be spent should have a say in this. So
absolutely.
Where do we go? I mean, where do we stand after the meeting this weekend? And you've had some talks with the mayor and other leaders. Where do things stand? What's the timetable, and what can people do to voice their opinion?
Well, first of all, I think that any meetings that are held, we have to show up. You have to make sure that your voice is heard. And I do know that people don't trust the government. They don't trust the administration, and understandably so. Historically, we've had broken promises for the I-40 interstate. People talked against it. They said they did not want it, and they brought it anyway, even all the way to the Supreme Court. They brought the interstate anyways. So many people say, well, it's going to happen. They're going to get what they want, do what they want to do. So why? What's the purpose? I think we still have to be at the table. We have to say, you know what? I can't eat that kind of food. Do you have a vegetarian plate that I can get? So we find something. If this is going to happen, let's find a way for us to benefit from this. If we have no way of stopping it, those people who own property and developers are coming, make sure that they become part of the developers. Make sure that they have a place to stay, and maybe they can get 10% of the development, because that's residual income that's going to come on. And not just make sure that select people get benefactors, ensure that all people who are in positions can. Just your average, ordinary person can also be a benefactor in a project like this.
How long before decisions will be made? I mean, how soon before that money can be start being spent?
You know, I'm not really sure, but I would imagine as soon as it is indicated, because there's been money promised from our local government to support the cap and support the Department of Transportation. I think that the mayor and the administration will move forward, moving with that and knowing that other monies will be coming from the federal government. That seems to me is how it will happen.
Okay, so it's coming, and we know there's going to be money coming. It's just maybe a question of exactly when.
Because Congressman Jim Cooper has also designated I think 1.4 million or 1.2, 1 point something million for the Jefferson Street Cap. So that's why I say it's a done
Right.
deal. It's because all of this has been submitted, designated for the cap, and the people in the community did not have an opportunity to speak on it before the plans were
Right.
produced.
And your hope, though, that is maybe there's some room for some modification of this.
If it at all possible.
And that's what you're working toward. Well, certainly a lot of people paying attention. As you said, they just have to turn out and have their voices heard.
Absolutely. Now, they said that if the people don't want the cap, they won't have it. So we'll have to see about that.
There you go. See if
so, and that's why we want to have some things instead. And Ronnie Mitchell, who was a longtime Metro employee, gave us some ABCs. He said affordable housing for A. B is better black businesses for recruitment and retention, and C, community, culture, and compassion. Those are the three things. I wanted to say, add into that, we got true engagement. Be at the table from the beginning to the end. The affordable housing, real affordable housing. All of these schools, why don't we turn them into some housing for teachers so they won't have to work 2 and 3 jobs in order to afford something, or Metro employees. Minority contracts. Right now we only have about 16% that's going to small and minority businesses, 9% for minorities, 7% for women-owned businesses.
It's a long list.
It's a long list.
Listen, I hope people get engaged.
Thank you.
All they have to do is listen to you and they'll get engaged, which I think is great. Councilwoman, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. I certainly appreciate it.
We'll be glad to talk about this again. We'll follow and see how this goes with the cap and where the money ends up. But Jefferson Street, it's just a wonderful area, and I'd love to see it just continue to grow, get vitalized.
Wonderful.
Thank you for coming on. We'll take a break. When we come back, a quick programming note and a special goodbye to someone very close to this program. We'll have that for you when we come back.